Czinano doesn't even jump. I love that. Jelena Mitrovic is 6'9", and Czinano was just kind of laughing out there. She's on, no.
She's going to get back on defense, right?
Yes. And there's Mitrovic. Doubled right away, and Czinano gets the rebound.
Lisa Bluder talked about Mitrovic and just her size and how much of a load she's going to be inside for them, and really overall Oregon State's length.
And that's something Czinano's been working on. If she wants to play pro ball, needs to, most of her points, the vast majority coming inside the paint. She's trying to extend her range.
Yeah, Lisa Bluder talking to us about one of the things she wanted to do and coming back for this extended period of time is work on that range, knock down some outside shots.
Here she is, number 22, Caitlin Clark, kicking it out. 3-ball for Gabby Marshall.
And that's big. I mean, you see Caitlin Clark is the ultimate facilitator as well. We talk so much about her scoring, but she makes the right play. She draws multiple defenders, and she finds Gabby Marshall.
And Steph, she accounts for 46% of their points. So again, to your point, a true point guard that's not going to force it, but will get her team involved.
Averaged 8 assists per game last year. That was first in the country. And Bendu Yaney getting the start, the Arizona transfer who is from right here in Portland.
And that's the key piece that I thought for Oregon State coming in, because I expect this matchup throughout the game. Bendu Yaney on Caitlin Clark, a physical defender, but can she keep her in front of her?
Yeah, Clark was able to get around her. Missed her first shot. Mitrovic gets it over to Yaney, who was on those really good Arizona teams, the national runner-up a couple of years ago. Coming back to her home state to use up her final year of eligibility. Left wide open. Alexis Aaron with the miss, and now here's Clark being aggressive to the hoop.
And Scott Rueck told us we cannot allow them to get out in transition. He can't be happy about how easy that was for Caitlin Clark to get to the rim.
And Christy, watching Caitlin Clark this year, she's much more on balance when she's attacking the paint. In times in the past, you could see her maybe throw up some shots, fall to the ground, but now finishing strong off of 2 feet.
And getting to the free throw line, as you said, because you can try to defend her, but how many times are these undisciplined defenders bailing her out with silly fouls?
She gets to the line over 10 times per game so far in the season, and that's the connection. Clark to Czinano, who was fouled.
Well, Caitlin Clark is going to be one of those players who just demands so much attention. And here in transition, you have to respect her ability to step back and shoot that three. And you see the collapse, 3 defenders on her. She makes the right play. She finds Gabby Marshall. Gabby Marshall has not shot the ball particularly well this season, but that is what she does best. And Caitlin Clark found her.
And Marshall shooting, just 30%, and on the season, 20% from range.
What I was going to say is both the assist and that finish, tremendous change of pace with the ball in her hands. And Pam, my big question for Oregon State coming in this game is, could they score and keep up with Iowa? Because you can score against this Iowa team, but you've got to be ready to score. And in that situation, you're open, feet aren't set, you travel.
You saw in that possession what Iowa's trying to do with Van Olhoffen on the on-ball screen. They're not going to let her come off of it. So especially on this side of the floor, they're icing or downing that screen, forcing her into help defense.
Lisa Bluder in her 23rd year in charge of Iowa. Team that lost at Kansas State earlier this season. But they were number 4 in the preseason, their highest preseason ranking since 1994. Warnock with the drive and the finish.
Well, they've been tested. I mean, they played tough teams on the road. You go to K-State, you go on the road and play Drake. I mean, they have been tested. And Lisa Bluder said that, I think we're going to be ready to play in this type of environment. It's a neutral floor, but certainly we're in the state of Oregon.
As you can well hear, Beaverton is about an hour and a half away from Portland if the traffic isn't terrible. That's a travel on Czinano.
And I got to say, true point guard Caitlin Clark's like, what are you talking about? That's a travel.
That's an assist.
That was my assist. And it's very interesting to me. We didn't even get 3 minutes into this game, and Reagan Beers has checked in. I'm eager to see how Scott Rueck uses her offensively, because she does have 3-point range. And we saw in the K-State loss for Iowa, that's how they exploited Czinano. They pulled her out away from the basket.
And Oregon State finally gets on the board.
Lisa Bluder talked about that game and said, you know, it almost hurt us that Ayoka Lee wasn't playing because they went small, they spread us out, they attacked us in a different way.
All Pac-12 performer last year, led the team in scoring. And here's Caitlin, now guarded by Noelle Mannon. And the tie-up, the Beaver fans love it.
And Mannon's a great story. Transferred from San Francisco, walked on and just received a scholarship. And I say it again, no point guard likes a little point guard defending them because you've got to pound that ball to the ground so quickly against the tiny defenders.
Now Yaney is back on the defensive assignment for Clark.
Well, Caitlin Clark's going to see a lot of different players on her. They're going to give her so many different looks, and that's great rotation by Mannon. The drop pass wasn't there because she snuck in.
And let's be frank, to beat Iowa, you can't just worry about going one-on-one. It's got to be that team defense.
Free ball from Shalexis Aaron.
Scott Ruick has lost a lot of parts to the transfer portal the last couple of years, and he is so excited about both Aaron and Yaney. They missed throughout the preseason due to injury, but they're back, and he thinks they can come up big for him.
Caitlin Clark tried a long three. She missed everything to the delight of the Oregon State fans.
Well, they're the most experienced players, you know, on the floor, and you look at when you have a young roster, is particularly in different environments. Now they're taking on a challenge of playing against Iowa. You need that experience. You need that calm voice. You need playmakers in those moments, whether it's offensively or defensively.
Now inside De Beers, defended by O'Grady. Madison O'Grady, number 44. Gives Iowa some quality minutes, and that's a quality move by Clark.
And again, you see the balance. Going off of 2 feet, makes the spin move, still able to split defenders.
And Steph, double team came. Double team was set in there, and she just glided by them.
That broke a 6-0 Oregon State run. Beers. Warnock came in and forced the turnover.
We knew that Caitlin Clark would show up big here this evening, and she's been dynamic so far. The reverse spin move and step by the bigger defender for the soft finish.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Nike. Just do it. Let's go back to last year's NCAA tournament second round in Iowa City against Creighton. Monica Sonano makes that shot probably 99 times out of 100. But it did not fall, neither did the follow, and the Hawkeyes in a game you did, Christy, lost to Creighton, a big upset in the second round.
Yeah, Monica Sonano had a huge night, but unfortunately, Caitlin Clark was off. And how? Because Creighton got really physical with her. And it was one of those games where Lisa Bluder was really frustrated with the officiating. And so, as great as Caitlin Clark is, I gotta believe she learned a lot from that loss, as all great players do.
Absolutely, and of course, Monica Sonano electing to come back using her extra year of eligibility, and certainly have to think that this is an Iowa team that feels like there was some unfinished business.
It's a team that won the Big Ten tournament title and tied the regular season title with Ohio State. Got the high seed and fell to the Blue Jays, who were one of the Cinderellas of last year's NCAA tournament. Iowa has checked in Molly Davis, number 1, and she's a player who is a transfer from Central Michigan, brings a lot of experience, and as Lisa Bluder said, spunk to her team as well. Coaches like spunk?
Coaches love spunk.
I feel like we also use that term for smaller players as well. But face guarding right now on the wing of Van Oelhoffen.
You got to deliver that pass. I mean, there was a clear advantage inside for Beers. Got to be able to get her the ball.
We're already seeing the chess match between the coaches. Oregon State going really big now in the low post.
Scott Ruick, who is an Oregon native, did great things at George Fox for getting the job at Oregon State.
And Pam, all he has done is, this program is really in trouble when he took over, and he has made them a national name. I can't say enough great things about Scott Rueck and how tremendous of an X and O coach as well as recruiter he is. Mr. Down Low.
And Beers battling down low now with Warnock. Yeah, that's a lot of contact, and they get Beers.
So much about the success of post players down low, not just doing your work early, but being able to get the ball to them when they're open, right? The timing of how to get the ball, when to get the ball, where to get the ball to them. Right away, you got to get it to her. When you don't, Warnock just continues to work, continues to fight, and draws the foul.
Hey, and for young players out there, Warnock got away with a little bit beforehand, and then Beers was responding, and that's what always gets caught.
Caitlin Clark takes a seat on the bench. Gabby Marshall back in. There's Molly Davis. Kicking it out. Sydney Falter with the miss.
So what does Iowa do offensively with Caitlin Clark on the bench? 11 points in the game. She is responsible for 9 of those, either her own points or off of her assists.
Getting it into Mitrovic, who was able to collect it.
Well, an Iowa team that runs a lot of that motion offense, they're going to have to get more player movement. The ball's getting stuck right now. You can't play all in on-ball screen action as Gabby Marshall gets an easy 2 there. But one of the best things that they do is that dribble at backdoor action. And with a big lineup like Oregon State has, you get the backdoor cut, you make that pass, you draw a secondary defender, then you have the pitch or the drop-off.
So basically you're saying be patient.
Move is what I'm saying. Move.
Rebound taken down by Falter. A long 3 by Warnock, barely took the front of the rim.
But for Iowa, if Oregon State's going to go big like this, they've got to be able to knock down that shot.
Yeah, and Iowa haven't had a lot of ball reversals. They've been getting one side offense, taking shots right away. I think they've got to make Oregon State work a little more as Van Olhoffen gets a 3 right there. Now, this is an Iowa offense that can score quickly, but sometimes you need to put some pressure on the defense.
Molly Davis knocking down the 3. Her 4th of the season. Iowa coming in 4-1 on the year. Caitlin Clark, not much of a break. She's going to come in, as will Hannah Stolke, a freshman from Cedar Rapids.
I like this look right here. It's not there, then you got to get it moving again. Or knock it down.
Or if you're Reagan Bears, just keep doing what you've been doing,
right.
freshman.
Knock it down.
The reigning Pac-12 freshman of the week.
It's a big Pac-12.
A big Pac-12, and she's a big-time player from the state of Colorado.
I like Manning's toughness on the floor.
Davis dribbling right through. They need a shot. Warnock gets it up and in.
And that's subtle by Molly Davis, but did not kill her dribble. That's a veteran point guard move. Continued with the handle, found her open shooter.
Well, we were talking about this in the last game, right? The difference in a veteran point guard that keeps your dribble alive, work around the baseline, probe, and find the open player.
Bank it in. Mitrovic. Her first made 3 of the season. Shot clock is off. Doesn't look like Caitlin Clark's going to get back in the game until the second quarter. She's been sitting over there for a while, but we haven't had a stoppage in play.
And Oregon State going zone, end of quarter. Shot clock's winding down.
Gabby Marshall, short. Mitrovic gathers, and that's the end of a very closely contested first quarter.
Well, we wondered, could Oregon State score and stay with Iowa? Jelena Mitrovic is saying, oh yeah, give me the rock from deep with the bank open.